Dear colleagues, this is a series of multiple videos, multiple cuts from different surgeries, and the main point of this video is lateral and horizontal chop technique. So the lateral chop is basically a horizontal chop that is done at 90 degrees away from the phaco needle. The phaco needle is holding in place the nucleus just by mechanical force, not engaging the nucleus, and then the chopper is going across 90 degrees away from the needle. In this series of videos are explained horizontal chop and lateral chop in different cataracts. Most of them are grade 2 and 3 plus, and the last one will be hypermature cataract. Basically, this horizontal chop and lateral chop used in combination, both of them, can be very useful in weak zones where you don't have to rotate the nucleus too much inside the bag, or it's wise not to do it. If we have the weak zones, so look at the phaco needle, how it's holding the nucleus in place, and then the chopper is going across to the equator of the nucleus, and then coming towards the phaco needle and mechanically dividing that nucleus into smaller pieces. The main thing is to go underneath the anterior capsule. Careful to be inside the bag, not on top of the anterior capsule. That can cause zonal split or breaking the anterior capsule, or even worse, if you push on nucleus, you can go with crack all the way to the posterior plate, the posterior capsule. And it's very important to how you hold the chopper at the equator of the nucleus. The chopper is basically having a 90 degrees in the last part of it, so that angle has to be on the equator of the nucleus. In the softer cataracts, doesn't really matter, because the chopper is going through the nucleus very quickly, like a knife through a butter. But in the cataract that are harder, it's very important that the L-shaped chopper to have it placed with that angle of 90 degrees in the equator of the nucleus. It's very important to have to separate the pieces before you start phacoemulsification, before you continue the phacoemulsification of each quadrant. In this way, it's easier to manipulate the pieces inside the bag, and it's easy to emulsify smaller and smaller fragments. If the crack is not propagated into the posterior plate, it's very important to insist on getting back into that tunnel and further divide it down until the posterior plate, like in this case here. If we have a partial crack, it's really important to go all the way down to the posterior plate. And here is the intumescent cataract that I told you that it's very important in these leathery cases, 4 plus, to have it all the way down to the posterior plate with that angle of the chopper placed at 90 degrees in the middle of the nucleus, at the equator of the nucleus.